The 838th edition of the MMA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Edge Boost, the bank account built for bettors. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet with promo code SGPN and get a $25 deposit bonus.
Howdy ho, Degenerinos. Welcome to episode 838 of the MMA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, dedicated to Kaiser Del Busto. Who is Kaiser Del Busto? You asked. My co-host just mentioned his name off air. He's a regional fighter that Mr. Daniel Gummy stumbled across when he was doing research for fights, and I am stealing his name because Kaiser Del Busto is an amazing name.
Yeah, I saw it and I was like, who is it? Was it Madonna the Rocket that we
that's right.
Down
yes.
not that long ago?
That was obviously a made up, like someone with.
I mean, maybe, but doesn't Kaiser Del Busto seem made up?
Yes.
I mean, like when I saw it, I was like, that can't be his real name, right? Like that's got to be it. And so, like, I did try to do some digging, and obviously, there's like very little information about one Kaiser Del Busto. Yes. But yeah, he fought Davi Cabral, who we broke down on yesterday's CFFC show, which you guys should all go back and listen to. Exactly. We got some winners in there for you.
Exactly. So from now on, I'm your host, Kaiser Del Busto, Jeff Fox. Today, as you can see by the title, is all about the old PFL. You're thinking, oh, great, PFL is back this week. No, it's not back. I guess people say that. These are popular episodes. People like PFL, apparently. PFL is back next week. June the 12th is when they're running. You always have to check what day of the week, though, because it is PFL. That's a Thursday. They're all over the map, as per usual. Nashville, Tennessee, a spot that I don't think they probably have hit it up before, but it's not a regular spot for them. So they're out of Orlando, Florida, and into a different spot here. So, and we're to the semifinals. So we're not doing the old episodes broken down via weight class because there's not enough fights on every weight class. So we're back to the old fashioned prelims and main card. You probably knew all of this already because the title will have all of this information in anyhow. So, so today is all about. Actually, this week of PFL, next week of PFL. This is getting confusing. It's all about welterweights and featherweights. Thoughts on either division or anything? We're gonna actually. What are we covering? Any tournament fights today? I guess not. Right?
We're getting some alt fights.
Right.
I'm pretty sure the last 3 fights we cover are alt fights, and then everything is in the division, so it almost feels like everything's an alt fight, doesn't it?
Yeah. Right.
Even if they haven't like officially listed it that. And like one of the things I'm interested in today is we're getting to see pretty much people who fell out of fights or got their fights taken away from them. Yeah. So like Sarek Shields, who we'll talk about, was supposed to fight Joseph Luciano. Luciano got pulled for the actual tournament, and now they're fighting each other again in the alt bout they should have had all along. So like Sarek Shields getting a chance. Magomed Umalatov fell out of the tournament by from an injury, and then now he's back already. So like that's or maybe was he the one who missed weight? It might have been him that missed weight. So like Umalatov's back, and yeah, I mean, like interesting to see how people bounce back from that and whether or not they'll need to use any of them.
Yep. PFL is the alt of MMA, isn't it? You're talking about alt fights. They're the alt of MMA.
They are. They're the co-leaders, though.
Oh yeah, for sure. And oddly, we have. As I said, we're more than a week out from this. We have odds for like 3 of the 10 fights for some reason.
That's odd as hell. I didn't see any of them. So if you want to play guess and check when we get there,
there's some odds posted. The books have obviously most of the books have not posted anything yet. So as we mentioned, all this today is all about the prelims. So we will get your prelims. We'll get Gummy to guess some odds. I'll actually give you some real odds for a couple of the fights today. And then we'll be on our merry way and we'll go make some money. Remind you, though, before we get to all of that the SGPN guys are going to be ripping packs live on air, I guess tonight, right? It says next Monday, which would be today. Today's Monday. They're breaking a case of Panini Prisms with DAPS, and you can get 10% off your favorite team with promo code SGPN. So go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/break. That's BREAK to get in on the action. All right, PFL 2025 World Tournament, semifinals 1. Nashville, Tennessee, June the 12th. So Thursday night, not this Thursday, a week from Thursday, 8:30 p.m. start time, ESPN, the Nashville Municipal Auditorium. If you want to go to it, We are covering. It says 11. It's 11 bouts. No. I think Tapology actually. Yeah, that's another thing. Tapology and PFL.
I think there might be a couple extra bouts that we're not covering that were like fighters with losing records that they like we're squeezing on here.
Yeah, and PFL and Tapology are all over different maps as well. So we're assuming PFL has the correct stuff on their site, which is probably a wrong assumption, but that's what we're going with anyhow. We're starting with the prelim 145-pound bout. So like Gumby said, well, most of these you could probably consider alt bouts if someone falls out of the fight. Well, I guess if someone falls out the night of, well, then this fight won't be happening. But I guess one of these people can step right into the finals, I guess, right? If something falls through.
Yeah, I mean, I assume, but I would say you're going to see a higher profile name than these two pop into the.
They should have an alt tournament if that's the case.
I mean, they're kind of doing that. I feel
I
like,
guess, right?
You know, so like you're going to see some high level guys in there looking for alt bouts.
This is a Frenchman versus Frenchman fight in Nashville. You wouldn't think you'd be seeing that, but that's what's happened here. Asaël Adjoudj versus Yves Landu. 3 5-minute rounds, 145. Landu is, he is 21-9, 5 knockouts, 5 submissions. He's been knocked out once, submitted once. That is durable. This is his debut in PFL. He's won 5 straight and 6 of 8. He's not lost since October 2021. He went 6-1 in Bellator. He has got all 3 regional championships on his
mantle.
Correct. Get our merch, sportsgamblingpockets.com/store. Use fight at 155, 2010 pro MMA debut, 2 inches reach over Adjoudj. Adjoudj is the Sultan, 9-1, 3 knockouts, 2 submissions, never been finished in a fight. 1-0 in the PFL. He's won 9 straight fights, 2 straight via finish. He's not lost since February 2020. 6-1 in Bellator. 13 years younger than Landu. 4 inches taller. His nickname's actually perfect because Nashville Municipal Auditorium sounds like somewhere some regional wrestling would be at, and the Sultan is a good wrestling nickname. So it works. It works for this French man fighting in Nashville. All right, Gumby. No odds for this one posted as of yet.
All right, I'm going to say Adjoudj, -300. He's coming off a big win over Jose Perez, which we had the dog side on Jose Perez in that fight. I remember vividly because he was also on Top Turtle that week. But my biggest problem with that fight was, I don't know if you remember this, Adjoudj stuck his fingers in Jose Perez's mouth in that fight. Do you remember that at all? Does that he was like,
yes, I think I do. Yes,
like shooting for a takedown in like to pull his face up. He stuck his fingers in his mouth, and Perez turned to the ref, said something, walked away from the takedown, and then got punched in the side of the head. And then was winning. I had Jose Perez in that, and I remember him winning. I think I had +130 or +140, and he was winning all kinds of takedowns. Then got himself guillotined with a minute left. But with that being said, why I'm saying all these nasty things about Adjoudj, I am going to pick him here. Like I said, he's probably going to be a pretty large favorite. But the big difference is I think his hands, when he lets them go, are going to be a lot better than Landu's. Landu's kind of like a bouncy, switch his stance all the time kind of guy, but doesn't really land anything with power. Whereas Adjoudj, when he hits you, you remember it. And then in addition to that, too, while Adjoudj lost the wrestling to Jose Perez, who's let's face it, a damn good American wrestler. Before that, he had kind of been the dominant wrestler type in a lot of his fights. So, I think he's going to have a big wrestling advantage here over Landu. But also just if he chooses not to wrestle, he's going to be the quicker, stronger striker here too. So give me Asaël Adjoudj over Yves Landu.
Did you give a number? You said big, but did you?
I said -300 maybe.
Okay, that's right. I did hear that. I remember now. Okay, -300. It is. Lock it in. Gummy promises. No, not really. This one is not on. Next fight is not on the old Tapology. They may know more than PFL knows, but we'll assume this fight's happening. It's a featherweight bout. Alexei Pergande versus Mike Bardsley. Both Americans. They're fighting at featherweight, as I said. A couple of guys, up-and-coming guys, you could say. Bardsley's 5-1. 1 knockout, 3 submissions. He's been knocked out once. He owes his rounds. 0-1 in PFL. He's won 2 straight, both via finish. He's not lost since June 2023. I do have odds here for this one. I won't say anything. Pergande is 5-0 with 2 submissions. All those fights have taken place in PFL. He's fight at 155, 7 years younger than Bardsley, 5 inches taller, 8 inches of reach advantage over him. Who's your favorite? What's the line? Who you picking? All that good stuff.
So this one is on Tapology. I'm looking at it right now.
Oh, is it okay?
Yeah. I don't know how you lost it, but it's right there.
Yeah, there it is right in front of me.
Yeah, there it is.
They must have just added it. They just added it. Yeah.
Pergande -450.
549. Sorry.
Oh, 549. I was pretty close.
Yeah, you were. Sorry if you're picking him. If you're not picking him, then good for you.
I am. it's just too easy. Like Bardsley is a guy who notoriously has had like issues with his range over and over again. Like if you watch his fight with who did he fight? Mike Zurcher? Was it Mike? Is it Mike Zurcher? It's something Zurcher.
That sounds like a name I've heard before. Yes.
Yeah, when he fought Zurcher, like he was just having trouble like figuring out how close Zurcher was to him, and he like swinging and missing like 4 inches in front of Zurcher's nose the whole time. And now he's gonna fight Pergande, he's got 8 inches of reach on him. And like the thing about Pergande is like perhaps the thing he is the best at on the feet is like frustrating you with how long he is. Like he throws big, long push kicks, side kicks to the body. And then he throws that jab out there anytime you're trying to step in. Like he's just hard to get close to. And then the other frustrating thing is when you do get close to him, he's actually a pretty damn good wrestler. Like for a guy who's shaped the way he is, you almost don't expect him to be as sharp as he is on the mat. And I've seen him, basically his game plan is pretty simple. Like let the guys get super frustrated by fighting you on the outside when you're this long. And when they get on the inside, punish them with a double. Bardsley is he's a featherweight with 66 inches of reach. Like that is, he's used to being outreached, maybe not by this much, but he's used to, kind of fighting against it. And it's been a problem for him in the past. Why would I not think it's going to be a problem for him when he's fighting a guy like Pergande, who is so good at using that extra length? So give me Alexei Pergande. Again, -549, you said.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of a big number, but like, if it makes your parlay feel better, I think you're in a safe spot.
That's what it's all about, making your parlay feel good. And I think we're all a little worried about where Zurcher is at all times, right? We're always like, where's Zurcher? Where's that Zurcher guy? Mike Zurcher? Is that what we decided his name was?
I think it was Mike Zurcher.
Shout out to Mike Zurcher if he's watching the show.
He's no Kaiser del Busto.
No, man. I've stolen that name. I am Kaiser del Busto. All right, before we dive into more winning and plays, let me tell you about Edge Boost. Edge Boost is the first ever bank account built for bettors, ensuring all gambling transactions are approved. No usage fees, no minimums, earn cashback rewards, and 100% approval for all betting deposits. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet with our promo code SGPN. Deposit $25 and EdgeBoost will match the deposit. That's edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. And it's time for Gummy's bonus underdog pick'em play. Underdog is going long for the NBA playoffs with their extender bonus, hopping game 1. And the longer the series goes, the bigger the bonus gets. I have a feeling the next series is not going to go long, but anyhow, Gummy, do you have a play for us?
Oh, you're hating on him. I'm going to take I'm usually a higher guy, as you know, but I'm going to take the lower here. I'm going to take the lower on Pascal Siakam's points, rebounds, and assists.
Speaking of hate, you're hating on him.
Yeah, and he was big for me earlier in the Eastern Conference Finals, but they got him listed at 28.5 here for the points, rebounds, and assists. And look, did he have a great last series? Yeah, he won Eastern Conference MVP, right? But now he's got those big, tall goofballs in the center against him, right? Like, Chet Holmgren and Isaiah Hartenson holding it down in the middle. I think they're going to out-rebound him. I think they're going to make his life a lot harder. Give me the lower than on Pascal Siakam's points, rebounds, and assists.
I don't know if they like to be referred to as big, tall goofballs.
I mean, you've seen the interviews, haven't you? Like the post-game interviews? The whole team's goofballs, and it's a lot of fun to watch.
It is true. All right, so take Gumby's advice and take my advice by using our promo code at MMASGPN. And when you head over to underdogfantasy.com, you get a special pick and first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. Only if you use our code. So underdogfantasy.com, promo code MMASGPN. And now we're going to get you some more winning plays here, ladies and gentlemen. Not basketball plays, but we're actually going to give you some MMA ones. This is actually this fight is in the tournament, is it not?
No, it's an alternate.
It's not. They have this tournament alternate. Okay, it does say alternate here. All right, this one is an official tournament alternate fight. Magomed Umalatov, he is from Russia. Anthony Ivy is from the United States. They're fighting 3 5-minute rounds at 170, and they're hoping someone gets sick and or hurt so they can fight for $500,000. Aquaman is Ivy, 15-7, 7 knockouts, 8 submissions. He's been knocked out 3 times, submitted twice, so he owes us rounds. 2-0 in PFL. He's stepping in here on short notice, right? Do you know how short the notice is?
I don't.
Yeah.
He was supposed to fight Korshkov, right?
Yeah, and he got moved to a different. He already fought and lost, right?
I believe. No idea.
Yep, he lost to Jason Jackson, I think. Maybe.
Oh yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
Maybe.
The ass kicking machine. More on him tomorrow. All right. Ivy 7-0. Before that, he lost 5 straight fights. You don't usually see this kind of rebound. 7-0 and 7-5. You don't see many people come back from 5 straight losses, but he has. He's not lost since August 2022. He went 0-2 in the UFC, 0-1 in Bellator, RIP. He has multiple regional championships on his
mantle.
Correct. Get our merch at sportsgamblingpockets.com/store. Use fight at 155 and 185. 2015 pro MMA debut, an inch taller than Umalatov. Umalatov is Prince, 17-1. 11 knockouts, 2 submissions. He's been knocked out once. He owes his rounds. 8-1 in PFL. He got TKO'd in his last bout, his only career loss. Multiple regional championships on his
mantle.
Correct. Once again, merch, sportsgamblingpockets.com/store. He used to fight at 185. 2015 pro MMA debut. 2 years younger than Ivy, an inch of reach on him.
Negative 2,000 on Umalatov, maybe.
Because his name is Prince and he is funky. Minus 2,000.
That's my guess. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna pick him to win. As much as you might be tempted by the other half. Like, look, Anthony Ivy is on a resurgence, right? Like, he's won 7 straight, all by finish, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
and I want to say,
everything's
like,
finished with this guy. Yeah,
but it's like all rear naked chokes and ground and pound.
Good
right?
luck.
Like, he's not grappling Umalatov. Umalatov would have been the favorite to win this tournament if he had not missed weight in the first fight. And like, I mean, he was the favorite in the finals last year before losing to Shamil Musafayev. And like, he is a damn good wrestler. He holds his own on the feet. And like, they basically gift wrapped him a guy who needs to be on top and has like lost in the past too. And I'm not disparaging these names, but like Basil Hafez, Brian Barberena, who's the one who owns the fried chicken restaurant in California now? Christian Aguilar.
Really?
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he was opening it like right as his his UFC career was ending. I interviewed him and he was like, "Yeah, I'm opening a chicken place." I think it's Christian Aguilar. Yeah, Christian Aguilar. It's my official call here on the fried chicken. Make sure to check out this place if you're ever in Southern California. And so yeah, Magomed Umalatov like is better than those guys in terms of his wrestling. Anthony Ivy is just not going to be able to get the parts of his game he needs to going. Umalatov dominates here.
Umalatov dominates here. You can give me time to Google Christian Aguilera fried chicken. You finished.
I'm going to look it up while you prep the next fight. How about
it's going to be it's all that pop star Christina Aguilera stuff's coming up, but that's not what we're looking for. Come on. I remember it was annoying when he was in the UFC because it was always you get Christina Aguilera stuff when you would Google his name. All right, we are for another tournament ultimate bout at 170. Mukhamed Berkhamov from Russia, Kendly, St. Louis from the United States. They are fighting 3 5-minute rounds. And we're going to tell you about St. Louis first. He is the Highlander, 10-4, 3 knockouts, 4 submissions. He's been knocked out twice, 2-0 in PFL. That's all I got for him. Berkhamov, 17-3 with 1 no contest, 2 knockouts, 10 submissions. He's been knocked out twice. 1-1 in the PFL, loss, win, loss over his last 4. Got TKO'd in his last bout. Hence why he is a alternate here. 2-1 with 1 no contest in Bellator. A regional champion, 2013 pro MMA debut.
So I was right. It was Christian Aguilera's.
Nice.
It's called JD's Wings and Things.
Nice. Okay, check it out.
It's in Placentia, California.
Right, road trip.
Yeah, if you happen to be in Placentia, California, it is elevating the Wings games, according to this. They were voted the best restaurant in all of Placentia. So shout out to Christian Aguilar with his new restaurant business. He was always a fun interview, and to note that he's got a cool restaurant now is awesome. Did you give me odds on this one?
No odds for this one. Sorry.
Okay, I'm gonna say Berkhamov negative 350, Kendly St. Louis plus 300, and this is my dog swing on this card.
All right,
I'm gonna take Kendly St. Louis. Berkhamov, I think, is gonna come in here as a big favorite. He's a Russian with a good looking record, but he's not the wrestling Russians. He's one of those ones who like is very. He like sort of bucks the trend, and he is like very clearly into kickboxing. He likes to try to like cut weird angles and like force you into weird striking exchanges where he seems like he's hitting you from the side. Whereas Kendly St. Louis has got like a lot of forward pressure. And I think that might be sort of enough to deal with Berkhamov here. Particularly like St. Louis has got sort of, I don't know how to describe his wrestling, but it's just like, it's relentless in a way that makes you feel like he's gonna tire you out, even if he doesn't get a ton of top control time. Like he'll hold you against the cage, and like you see his opponents like try to spin the position, like dig one underhook and try to spin the position, and like they'll spin it, and he'll just like use the momentum and spin it right back. So like they wasted all this energy and are exactly where they were before. He'll get you down, and like he's not great at holding people down, but he's good enough at getting people down. And then like they'll get up and they're right back down, like mat return after mat return after mat return, and just like wears you down with this like sort of relentless grappling style. And then on top of that too, like he's not terribly elusive on the feet when he's striking, but he is quick and his like offense is good. So I think as long as he moves forward here and is not really afraid of Berkhamov at like plus 300, I think you could do, if it does come into that range, and hey, maybe it comes in even higher than that, but if it comes into the plus 300 range, I think you could do a lot worse than a dog swing here on Kendly St. Louis.
All right. Kendly St. Louis is, how is he on the Tapologist?
1%.
15%.
Oh, 15. That's higher than I thought it would be.
Yeah. So hopefully that doesn't mess up your massive odds you're hoping for. All right. We got a main event. After I tell you about Rhythm RITHMM. Our job at SGPN is to help you find the best picks. And now we've got a new tool that takes things to a whole new level. You've heard us talk about Rhythm before, and they just dropped a game-changing feature called Power Trends. These are AI-detected patterns where Rhythm's models has consistently won and has a high ROI. Think a strikeout prop that wins 59% of the time when the line and win probability hit a certain range. Power Trends are updated daily and exclusive to Rhythm. No touts, no noise, just clean, data-backed bets. Download the Rhythm app, check out Power Trends, and start betting smarter. We will. Any other trends you want people to check out when they're on their Gumby that you can think off the top of your head?
Yeah, check out the trends on Ronald Acuna's extra bases since he's come back. It seems like he gets an extra base hit just about every day. And Rhythm has shown you where that line is going to come in at. So make sure you check out Rhythm.
And that puts the power in Power Trends too, right? Extra base hits for the boy.
Look at what you're doing there. I see what you're doing.
Get your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpockets.com/rhythm, RITHMM. And you better get in on this if you've not already. Going on right now, Circa's Ultimate Fantasy Football Giveaway. Circa Resort and Casino in Las Vegas is giving away the ultimate fantasy football experience for a 12-person league to draft in Vegas and be treated like VIPs for their stay. The winner will receive a 2-night stay at Circa Resort and Casino for their entire 12-person league. That's 6 Double King rooms. They get to hold their draft at a cabana at Stadium Swim with a $5,000 food and beverage credit, limo transportation to and from the airport, a welcome party at Legacy Club for the league, reservation at the world's largest sports book with a $500 beverage credit for the league, a 2-hour open bar package for the league at Overhang Bar. Contest is on now as we speak. It ends June the 30th, so basically the end of this month. Not basically the end of this month. Enter by going to sportsgamblingpockets.com/circa. That's sportsgamblingpockets.com/CIRCA. And lastly, but not leastly, we're brought to you by mybookie.ag. MyBookie, your place to bet on every sport, including the NBA playoffs. Finals make that almost time. For the true degens, the MyBookie money bag. MyBookie accepts customers from a ton of locations, easy deposit, and lightning fast payouts using crypto. And they will have PFL lines up. Don't you worry. So check out all the fights we're talking about now with no lines. Go check out how Gumby's line fares against the MyBookie line. And when you do, head over to mybookie.ag. Use our promo code MMASGPN. And if you do, you get a 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions apply. So that's mybookie.ag, promo code MMASGPN. All right, main event of the prelims. How long will all these fights take? This is PFL, so it'll be what?
17 hours.
17. That's what I figured. 17 hours for just the prelims. This is another alternate bout at 170. Are they expecting a whole bunch of bad things to happen at 170 or something?
No, I mean we got 2 featherweight ones and 3 welterweight ones, and we'll have a featherweight one we're talking about next time. So they have 3 and 3 for the 2 different weight classes. So I think that they're comfortably stacking the amount of extra fighters they have here.
There you go. The UFC should have had a alternate ready for this past weekend. So you can't be too well prepared here. Joseph Luciano, he is from Australia, even though that sounds like an American name to me. Sarek Shields, he is American. 3 5-minute rounds, 170. I'll tell you about Shields first. He's berserker. 6-2, 1 knockout, 3 submissions. He's been knocked out twice. He's making his debut here in the PFL. He's 1-4-5, including his last bout via submission. He's a regional champ. He's 3 years younger than Luciano. Luciano is 10-3, 1 knockout, 7 submissions. He's never been finished in a fight. That's durable. 0-1 in PFL, loss, win, loss over his last 4, 9-2 over his last 11. 1-0 in Bellator, RIP. 1-1 in one championship. Biggest promotion in the history of mankind. Regional champion, he's fed at 185. 0-1 in pro Muay Thai, an inch taller, an inch of reach over shields.
So this fight was already booked once. So I can give you the line from the last time.
Oh, okay, good.
If you want. So Luciano was -225 when it closed last time. He's since fought Logan Storley on short notice as a fill-in for when Umalatov fell off. But with that being said, like, is that gonna change where that line is? Taking a loss to Logan Storley, who's probably now the favorite to win the welterweight division. Like, I don't think it's gonna really change it. So I'm gonna say Luciano's still coming in here at -225, and we actually broke this fight down once already too. If you would like a more in-depth breakdown than I'm about to give you, because I've already broken it down once, it's on episode 792. We broke this one down when we did the welterweights for PFL. That whole card fell apart. That episode wound up being not very watchable, but it does give you a more complete breakdown in this one. The bottom line is you got Shields here, who, like you said, is a berserker. He's not terribly the most technical
I did
guy.
say that.
Yeah, he's not the most technical guy. He likes to shoot big takedowns, but like, in order to win this fight, you have to be Logan Storley level wrestler who can take you down and stay safe the whole time, because Luciano is so freaking dangerous when it comes to his submissions. Like, his submission game is very, very, very high level. So if like your game plan most likely is to like swing wildly and try to get to a takedown, like, I have to imagine Luciano just tools on you, and I wouldn't be surprised if Luciano got the takedown himself. I think he's even better on the feet. So yeah, give me Joseph Luciano here. -225 was the line last time.
All right, Excelente. No bonus picks. Sorry, we're doing every fight, right? There's no.
I think there's a couple of other ones in there. Do you want me to? I can dig in.
If you have them, sure. I'll give everyone a recap first. If you want to, you dig or the intern. We need an intern. Summer's coming, right? Summer intern. College kid, right? All right. Luciano, St. Louis, Umalatov, Pergande, and Adjoudj are Gumby's picks for basically all alternate fights here. It says we got 10 fights breaking things down here.
No, I got one more.
Okay,
so
good.
You want a lightning round play? So apparently we've got a fight between Jason Danner,
right,
who's a 2-0 prospect. In his nickname, stealing it from Mr. Royval. He's also Raw Dog. And then we got Nathan Gilmore, who's Dreadhead Hitman. Nathan Dreadhead Hitman.
Oh my God, that's amazing. And that's not even the best nickname coming up.
Yeah, that's a shame. But so, one of them is 4-5. That's Gilmore. When you watch his record, it was pretty much all losses early in his career. He's sort of figured it out since then. I think I remember watching his fight with Kevin Martin Jr., who is terrible. But like, I think he's like 0-7 or 0-8. He's like one of those guys who they fill in with on every single regional card when they need somebody at the last second. So like, like Danner had a long storied amateur career. He was actually like one of the more hyped amateur prospects out of that area for a while. And he's 2-0, but he's got like, 8 amateur fights or something. He was like 7-1. So I'm going to say Danner is going to be like a massive favorite, like 650, but he'd be my lightning round play here.
Look at this guy. He knows just off the top of his head, right? This stuff. That's why people don't.
I used to have to cover the Kentucky, Tennessee amateur circuit.
Really?
One of my old jobs.
You never told me. You kept that from me, Gumby. You kept that secret from me. Boy,
what was the name of the fight organization?
You should have been bragging about that.
I'm trying to remember the name. I don't even remember the name of the company anymore, but I'm trying to think of it.
See, that shows you what a freak.
I know that they used to. I knew that they used to fight in a town called Soddy Daisy.
Soddy Daisy.
I'm dead serious. I wish I was lying.
That is amazing. That is amazing. All right. What are we moving to? Oh, I'm telling everyone bye now, right? That's what I'm telling everyone. All right. We're gonna be back tomorrow though. It's just so long. It's not goodbye for good. Sorry. Discord. We'll be in the Discord. You can always hit us up there. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. You can hit us up in the comments. We are accepting. What does your co-host and the other podcast say? We're accepting
love and hate feedback.
Love and hate. That would be MMA Gambling Podcast on the old YouTube. What else does your co-host say? He hates flyweights. That's another thing he says. So I'm not going to say all the things he says. Twitter, SGPN MMA. He is at Gummy Real, and I'm at Jeff Fox Writer there. And on the old Instagram, you should go to moneymma.substack.com. A free subscription to my Substack will get you, at the very least, you can enter my UFC Pick'em contest every week and win some real prizes. So moneymma.substack.com. Gumby's got Top Turtle MMA. He's got a whole he's got a whole archive. A archive, a cache of recently conducted interviews, right? And you're going to dish some out this week.
Yeah, you're going to see some interviews from all kinds of Contender Series hopefuls that we got coming up, and at least a couple of UFC guys squeezed in there too.
Because it is almost that season, ladies and gentlemen. Almost Contenders time. And of course, it's always season for sportsgamblingpodcast.com. We cover every sport there. We are always on the go with podcasts, with articles, with giveaways. Everything is at sportsgamblingpodcast.com, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store to get our merch, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon to get some bonus content. And of course, when you do sign up for Underdog Fantasy or preferably mybookie.ag, promo code MMASGPN. We'll finish off PFL tomorrow after Gumby bids you farewell.
I'm Dana Gumby Real, and he's the Dreadhead Hitman, Jeff Fox, and we will see you tomorrow.